Whenever I do a video where I'm wearing my helmet, I'm always asked how I get such great audio. If you haven't seen my videos, here's an example of how good my audio can be, even though I'm flying with an open-face helmet.
You can't see it out there, but right out that direction is a beehive of paramotors. And they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's cool. I love that view. I love it.
To fully appreciate the amount of noise reduction I'm getting from this microphone, let's listen to the exact same clip, but this time from the GoPro audio that is facing me.
If you've ever wondered how to get the best audio with an open-faced helmet, well, this is the video for you. I'm not only going to show you the equipment I use, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to use that equipment regardless of the environment around you. So it's a little bit windy today, but let's go flying and I'll show you what I mean.
In this video, I'm flying an older paramotor of mine with a beat-up prop. Now, it's still flyable, it's just the prop is losing some of its coating, so it's very noisy. Also, it's an older engine, and I haven't repacked the silencer or muffler, whatever you call that thing, and it has probably 200 hours on it. So this engine is very noisy, this propeller is very noisy, but I'm still going to show you how you can get the absolute best audio out of even flying something as old and beat up as this thing, and certainly how you can do it if you're, YouTubing and trying to get good audio on a motorcycle or a snowmobile or any other type of vehicle. So as soon as all the cameras are facing each other, just need some peak audio that I can fix later in post and line up everything. I'll leave that recording while I take off. Alright, in theory I should be recording now. Well, I've chosen a pretty windy day to come out here and to show you how to get the best audio while filming on a vehicle. And there's some things you can control and some things you cannot control. In this case, I can't control the amount of wind I have with an open face unless I actually have a guard over my mouth like you do with a motorcycle. But I can face into the wind. And when I face into the wind, you'll notice that my audio gets remarkably better. So whenever I try to say something that I know I'm recording, so whenever I talk, I try to make sure that I'm faced into the wind or away from the wind directly, because the audio will actually come out better. Now, this is exasperated if I turn my head. So if I turn my head to the left, or if I turn my head to the right, you can tell that the wind on that microphone is going to be a lot more. So one of the first things I do is I make sure that when I'm talking, I keep my head very still, facing into the wind, and I make sure that I use my face and that microphone to block the wind as much as I can, because I don't have a face mask. Another thing is how close we put the microphone to our mouth. What you don't see on camera a lot is me doing this. What I'm doing when I do that is I'm pushing that microphone to the very edge of my lips, so if I had stretchy lips, I could kiss it. And that's exactly where that microphone should be. Not a little closer, not a little more farther away, but exactly where the end point of your lips are if you had real stretchy lips. Holy crap, the wind is horrible. Wow, what a windy day. Another thing I try to do is I try to talk when my engine is at idle as much as possible. So usually I'm losing altitude. The problem is I'm losing altitude, so I can't always do this. But if I want the quietest and best settings, I'll wait until I can leave my engine at idle and then say what I need to say. And then when I need to pick up, I stop talking or I do something so you don't hear the engine as much. Again, anytime I'm talking, doesn't matter if the engine's at idle or not, I make sure that my face is going forward, because what I'm doing is I'm blocking the engine and propeller sound with my head as much as possible, and I'm using the microphone to block the wind on my voice. Another really key tip is not to yell. The quieter I talk, the easier it is to get better audio. Now, I'm not talking at a whisper, but I'm not talking at a point to where I can really hear myself. In fact, I can't actually hear myself except through my head. My ears, I can't hear my voice. So you kind of got to get used to not yelling, because when you start recording with a helmet on, you're going to notice that you yell a little bit more because you can't hear your voice. And try not to get into the habit of yelling, but try to stay in the habit of talking quiet, even though you can't hear your voice. Nice deer down there. Pretty little doe. Can't really let the brakes go today. It's just too windy. Getting tossed around quite a bit. I might actually have to set it down. I'm getting beat up quite a bit here. Try to face into the wind and see if I can handle these beatings a little bit better. Jeez. I'm going to try to make it home if I can. Getting awfully beat up here. Hopefully this thing will settle so I can at least get the camera back in. Just getting rocked. Just getting absolutely rocked. I think I'm going to lose my GoPro on landing, but got to do what I got to do. Front or something's coming in. Boy, that was nasty air. Well, obviously the plan to get good audio on a very windy day didn't work out so great, but well, maybe this will blow through and we can try later on this evening. So where we left off last, I think I was talking to you about where to place your head. You want your head directly into the wind, and you want to use your head as a shield from the sound of the engine and the propeller. Because if you turn right or left, what happens is you'll get a lot of noise. And in fact, even if I tilt my head forward, I'll get the same thing. Take a picture of my socks for Instagram and watch what happens when I tilt my head forward to take this picture. You can see that a lot more wind Well, we'll use that for now. A lot more wind came into the microphone as I go this way, so it's really critical when you talk to make sure that you're keeping your head still and forward and upright. I'll take more pictures later. Now, I do look around a lot. I just have a habit now of not talking when I look around, because I know that if I do, I'll have to throw away the video, or I'll have to like snip out that piece of the video, because if I'm talking like this, you can't really hear me, or if I'm talking like this or like this, I'm just really aware of where the wind is with my nose, and I make sure that my nose is directly into it, so I try to do all my filming with the least amount of wind noise as possible. But now there's also the hardware, which is a huge piece as well, and there's only one microphone that works for really good audio for paramotors, and I'm going to head down now and show you exactly which one that is. Check out this gigantic fire over here. Well, maybe it is intentional. It's in somebody's backyard. Ugh. The smell of that fire. Ugh. They're definitely burning tires. Nasty. I got to get over this smoke because I don't want to be breathing that in. All right, let's go talk about hardware. Oh, and by the way, if you like this video and if you like the content I bring you, do me a favor and like and subscribe to the channel. Also, comments are huge for me. I love reading the comments, so give me a like and write a comment. Thanks. I'm going to go ahead and put it down, and now I'm going to show you that key microphone that everybody wonders about.
Now, believe it or not, I don't actually run any software to reduce the noise from any of the audio that comes out of my helmet. Even though I could run it through something like Adobe Audition, I don't, because I've noticed that when you try to reduce the noise from the output that's coming from the helmet, it actually makes it worse, and there's really no improvement to be gained there. However, when I export the audio out of Premiere into Media Encoder, I do use a loudness maximizer, and I will go ahead and put the settings in here on this video so you can see what my settings are specifically for YouTube. Now what this does is this limits the peaks. It'll limit the S's and P's and T's and those hard sounds that you're getting through the audio, and it'll try to bring up all the raw audio to a normalization level. So it actually makes it sound a little bit better, but it doesn't reduce any of the noise. What reduces most of the noise is the microphone you use. Now, there's several videos out there on YouTube on how to use these specific microphones and how to wire them into a GoPro. What I do on my helmet is I actually do the recording through a secondary recording piece here. It's a Sena, I think it's a 10C Pro or something like that I just attach to my earphone, and I'm recording the audio directly from it. But that's not actually necessary. I know a lot of people that take these microphones and they split them, and then they use a media mod or something, and they solder the wires together and go into GoPros to use the microphone that way. It's really not important how you capture the audio, whether it's through a secondary device like I use or through a GoPro by doing some soldering, but what is important is the microphone itself. Sena makes 3 different versions of a microphone. The first version you'll see is the most popular version. It looks like a little bean at the end. The second version is something that I see a lot of people use, but it's definitely the wrong version, and it's the one with the little knobs on the end. But Sena only makes one good microphone for reducing the noise, and it looks entirely circular. This microphone only comes with one Sena device, and that is the SMH10. So in order to get the microphone, you have to look for a microphone that works with the SMH10 or came with the Sena SMH10. And that's really the secret, is how you position this while you're flying or driving or whatever, how you're recording the audio and how you're bringing it through the loudness maximizer, and lastly, what microphone you're using. The microphone secret is the SMH10 microphone from Sena. Anyway, if you like this video, I hope you like and subscribe. Leave me a comment below about your audio or anything that you're having trouble with. Anyway, thanks a lot. Have a great day. My name is Chris and my channel is My Dog is Choking.